How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Cure Peace figure. So you have a nice window to see the figure inside, and then the top you have pictures of the figure. Same for both sides. Looks really nice. Legal stuff for the bottom. And then the back you just have more various pictures of the figure. And then to open the box, just lift open the side flap. And then lift open the front cover. And there's the figure all together with her accessories. So first you do get some instructions showing what the figure comes with and how to operate the accessories. So here's the actual figure, and for the most part I think this figure is somewhat decent. There are still some QC issues, but for now the sculpt is actually very nice. It looks just like the character. And there's a lot of detail going on as well. So taking a closer look at the face, I feel that they captured the likeness of the character really well. And then the hair is probably the most eye-catching piece, so the fringe is very nicely sculpted with these ends as well. And they are quite solid, so you have to be careful of them. And then of course you have her iconic ponytail, which again is very nicely sculpted. It does look like bananas from the back, but I guess that's just her design. But again, it is a very solid piece, so it does make the figure somewhat back heavy. But her neck joint is able to support it for the most part. And moving down to her outfit, you have the nice ribbon at the chest with the nice gold medallion. Looks really nice. And then down to the skirt, again very nicely sculpted, and the paintwork is very nice and clean for the most part, but there isn't really much shading, but the colours do look very nice and bold, so that's quite nice. And of course you have her pouch here. Then down to her shoes, nicely sculpted, and then these pieces are solid, so you have to be careful of those. And overall it's just a very nice sculpt and very well painted. So what I mentioned with the QC issues is that her arm does tend to fall off quite a bit. It's just very loosely attached in there. And then a lot of her joints are quite loose as well. Like her shoulder joint is loose. Her torso joint is pretty loose. And then both legs are pretty loose as well. So I'm not really sure what happened with this figure, since Cure Happy and Cure Sunny turned out relatively well. So I'm not too sure what happened while the QC was kind of all over the place with this figure. But I can't speak for every figure since they all differ, but for my experience with this figure, she is quite loose in a lot of joints. But in terms of articulation, her neck is on a single ball joint, so she can look down only a little bit. She can look up and then tilt her head side to side, and then as well as twist. And like I already mentioned, the neck joint is pretty stiff, so it's going to manage to hold up her hair really well. And then her ponytail part is on a ball joint, so you can move her hair about however you want. And then moving down to the shoulder. So this whole sleeve part is a solid piece. And if you watch my review of Cure Happy and Cure Sunny, these parts were softer material, but for this figure they're solid. So I'm not too sure why they went with that design. I suppose it's just because it's attached to the sleeve. But in the end it still works well. So you have the ball joints, move the arm however you want. And it's on a hinge, so you can bring your arm out to the side. Bring them forward. Bring them back. And then she does have the bicep swivel as well. She's got the single jointed elbow. And then ball jointed wrists. And then the torso is on the ball joint, so you can move that around however you like. You get a lot of range of motion from that. It's very dynamic. And then for the waist, it's on the ball joint, so you can move her legs about however you want, as well as twist. And each leg is on a ball joint, so she can kick about that far to the side, kick forward that much, and then kick back that much. And then this whole skirt piece is a soft material, so it doesn't really restrict her leg articulation too much. But then she's also got the thigh swivel, and then she's got the single jointed knee. And then finally she has the ball jointed ankle, so you can go back that much, forward that much, tilt side to side, as well as twist. So for such a small figure, she still has all the articulation you'd expect the Figuarts to have. And for the most part, she's very dynamic in her poses. None of her joints are really restricted by any part, so that's nice design. But again, she just has a lot of loose joints, so it can be a bit difficult posing her. But that's just for my figure. But that's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. So for faces, she comes with a default smiling face, a happy winking face, a shy and nervous face, and then finally an angry shouting face. For hands, she comes with a pair of open palmed hands, a pair of fists, a pair of peace hands, a pair of peace hands with her thumbs out, and then one hand which is an open palmed. She also comes with an extra neck joint, which is the same joint but it just doesn't have the hinge, and this is to help support her hair. But like I already showed, she can hold her head up just fine, but it's still nice that they included this. And then finally she comes with a display base, so you do have the character's name and some patterning for the base. And then you do have the stem to hold the character as well. I'm not too sure why they went with the older style of the stand, since I prefer the newer one since it's one solid piece, but because it has these hinges here, it can make the figure difficult to pose. So I'm a bit confused on why they gave us the older stand for this figure, but it's just how it is, I suppose. So my final thoughts are, overall this is a nice figure, but there are quite a few QC issues like I showed with the loose arm, the hair easily falling off, and then the loose joints as well all over her body, so it does detract from the figure a bit. And it is confusing after Cure Happy and Cure Sunny how well they turned out, and then this one being a bit like the quality just being a bit lower, so it is a bit strange. But again, I can't speak for every figure, but it's just something to look out for. But if you are a fan of this character or the show, then I can still recommend this figure. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.